What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk to you about Rezolve AI. I want to go over some expectations for this upcoming week, what might cause some volatility in the stock price, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So starting off with macro data, there is quite a lot of things coming out this week. On a side note, the market is closed on Monday, so it is a shorter week. But on Tuesday, we do have straight out the gate ADP employment, the weekly. So most likely that's going to be a big thing, as well as if there is any escalation, whether that be from Iran or Greenland, that will be impacted on Tuesday. And this is why we did see a little bit of a dip near the end of the day, not just with Rezolve, but pretty much across the board because of that grayness, right? Because over the long weekend, there's a lot of things that could go very right or very wrong for the broader market. So again, that will all be impacted on Tuesday. Wednesday, we don't really have too much. Of course, the market is going to be really looking slightly at the mortgage applications as well as mortgage market index, but I think it's too soon to start thinking about a March cut. So at the end of the day, the market's going to be seeing this as and taking it for face value. So if it's positive, then of course we'll move up in accordance. If not, then we might be stagnant. But Thursday, based on data, is going to be the biggest one. So we have GDP as well as PCE, initial jobless claims as well. So that'll be a very hot day. Then on Friday, we have a lot of flash data. So we have composite manufacturing and services. Current forecasts are around about 52.8, 52, and 52.3. And so anything above 50 shows more of an expansion. Anything below 50 shows more of a contraction. And then to end it all off, we have Michigan consumer sentiment. So it's going to be a filled week. Aside from that, we have also a lot of big companies putting out their earnings that will really move things around. And I saw some comments on my last Rezolve video saying that Rezolve putting out their earnings is going to be the next big catalyst. And they, as far as right now, still have semi-annual earnings. I know Dan kind of mentioned about changing that, but I don't believe anything official has been done, and it's never been brought up again other than that one time. So it is fair to assume that their next earnings is going to be probably April, beginning to end of April, similar to what happened in 2025. So just so you're aware of that. But when it comes down to this upcoming week, we have Netflix, Intel, a lot of big names that could and have shown that they will move the broader market. So we'll have to kind of wait and see. As far as more specific to Rezolve, there isn't anything planned for this upcoming week. So no interviews, no fireside chats. I think the next big thing is going to be just institutions getting into Rezolve. And that's been, again, occurring ever since them announcing on the 13th about their revenue for 2026 and as well as for 2027. Kind of does, again, put them at a pretty good discount. So I know my main concern about that was this right here, which was new, but still I think overall that in combination with them expanding to the States, I think that's going to be a massive catalyst in among itself. So again, they did mention that they're going to be integrating into the States in Q2, and then Q3, they're going to have a stronger hold in Europe. So Rezolve definitely has a lot of big plans. So I like that. And plus Wall Street. Wall Street generally does prefer stocks to be a little bit more aggressive with their expansion, as long as it's controlled. And luckily enough for Rezolve and just any other AI play, like costs, yes, would increase, but nothing significant. So whereas technically like a brick and mortar or something like an EV company, if they expand, their costs skyrocket. So I think Rezolve is in a good position to continue to move higher despite kind of the market being somewhat choppy. So in Rezolve's case, it's done phenomenal. So over the last 5 days, it is up about 17.1%. So it's been doing very, very well. In regards to shorts, they did return about 1.1 million shares on Friday. 31.04% of the free floats being shorted, works out to be 36.8 million shares overall being shorted. DTC now being at 2.12 days really does signal that shorts are very overextended. So this is again something I've brought up. I was really hoping that Rezolve was just going to fly under the radar, just do its own thing and not get the attention of shorts, but it does look like shorts are kind of paying attention to them more and more. So again, something to kind of keep in mind. But if Rezolve does execute based on their plans, then yeah, logically Rezolve shorts would just go F off somewhere. But I think we'd have to wait up until April-ish for us to kind of find out, unless Rezolve again kind of switches itself to the quarterly earnings. But as far as right now, from a bull standpoint, you see a consensus for it to be roughly around $5 to $5.50 by the end of this upcoming week. Bears are anticipating for it to be sub $4.50. So definitely a lot more upside is anticipated. As I mentioned, you are seeing a lot more institutional transactions. So these are all the ones that did occur on Friday, above $100,000. Anything with a ask is a buy. So you had one big one, 1.9, 1.4. So a lot of big transactions there. And then these are all the transactions that did occur on the dark pool. So with shorts returning as much as they did, it is fair to assume that most of this is linked to them. Aside from that, though, a couple of key points. With it closing at 461 on Friday, even though 495 or 497 was the high, it landed exactly on this R3. So that's going to be a key support. You really want to watch for that to hold. Flip side, 569 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. So realistically, if things recover with, let's say, GDP, PCE, and so forth, then you could be seeing that $5 range. And we've seen this happen time and time again. Well, actually, sorry, that might be a little bit premature, not time and time again, but we have seen that occur with Rezolve on how it was able just to really break out. Similar type of price action is starting to occur from here. So in theory, we could be seeing a very nice push higher. Of course, I think they were doing a lot of PR blitzes and algorithmic trading was really pushing things higher. But my last Rezolve video, I said that we are kind of working out to have this same price action. But the biggest difference is this time it's institutions. Institutions are driving this higher. So that's always, in my opinion, I'd rather have that than algorithmic trading. Even though this was very fun, very sexy, it's artificial. And this is why, as much as it went up very fast, it can go down very fast, because algorithmic trading. Right now, you're having institutions buying, and by them doing that, they're building good support levels. So I think overall this upcoming week, we will be seeing higher highs, assuming the States doesn't attack Iran or Greenland or something else like that, causing the market to be kind of on the edge of their seat a little bit. Assuming that doesn't happen, then in theory, the broader market should really move higher and Rezolve with it. So let me know your general thoughts. Where do you see things going? Do you think we're going to be seeing $8 in the foreseeable future in Q1, or do you think we're going to be seeing a consolidation in the next little bit? One thing to take note of, though, is on Friday it did successfully close 2 days above that 100-day moving average. So usually that does reconfirm a trend. Big thing for Rezolve, though, was it breaking above that 50-day moving average right over here on January the 7th. The writing was on the wall that we were going to be seeing an obviously a kind of push higher, as I've been very open and kind of mentioning to you, because I'm not here to BS you. If something looks negative, which while this downtrend was occurring, you weren't getting any institutions buying, it was breaking below a lot of key moving averages, I was saying, hey, you know what? Like, we are most likely going to go down. Watch for this level, watch for this level, blah, blah, blah. Because I'm not here to BS you. I'm not here to hype you up. I'm not here to bring you down. I want everyone to make a lot of money. And yeah, do whatever you want with that information. But again, assuming nothing crazy happens over this long weekend and the data comes in at least in line with some expectation, then we should be seeing a nice push higher. So let me know your general thoughts. One thing that also could be happening this upcoming week is maybe new ratings. I know we did get a rush of them, but potentially we might get a new initiated one from a big firm. My biggest issue with Rezolve was that a lot of these firms are B level. They're kind of no-name ones. Nobody really cares too much about what H.C. Wainwright says or Maxim or Northland. Like, nobody's paying attention. But if, for instance, JPM or Wedbush or TD, if they give ratings on Rezolve, then the market's going to really pay attention. So that could be, again, another catalyst that might be coming this week. So let me know your thoughts on Rezolve. Are you buying? Are you selling? What are you generally doing? Hopefully everyone's having an amazing weekend thus far. One final thing, if you're looking for some solid on-point buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, pop over to my Patreon. I put out daily day trades, numerous swing trades, worthwhile to pop over there and check that out. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.